Hello and good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible to each and every one of you. Uh, Today's session is all about CUET PG Economics, and for all the students who are actually worried about one big question: what can I realistically get this year? And let me say this very, very clearly at the start. Today, I'm not here to give you any fake hope, random telegram rumors, or empty motivation. Okay, I'm here to help you think properly about few things: the expected cutoffs this year, which colleges are actually realistic at different score bands, how category changes the picture, how JNU deprivation points change the conversations, what to do after the scores, and how to choose a college wisely and not emotionally. Okay. So if you stay with me very carefully, by the end of this session, most of your questions would have been answered, and you should have a much stronger sense of where you stand, what your realistic college basket will look like, and what your next actions should be. Okay. And one more thing before we begin, what I am going to share with you are basically working counseling estimates. It's not official final cutoffs. Final cutoff depends on the rounds, category, seat matrix, normalization logic, and student preference movement. Okay. But yes, even with that uncertainty, we can still make very strong practical estimates. Okay. So let's begin. Okay. So let's begin with the session. So the first thing that I want all of you to understand is, do not read the 2026 using older year numbers blindly. Okay. 2025 was a very different paper, and 2026 the paper was easier, and the cutoff expectation naturally moves upwards. So for this session, I am giving you two anchors, okay, two numbers which I think will be relevant for each and every one of you. Let me put in those numbers for you, two very important numbers. Okay, let me put it on the screen. Yeah, the two big numbers I'm talking about are Delhi School of Economics for unreserved non-DU. I'm expecting a cutoff of around 245 to 247. And for IGIDR, unreserved category, I am expecting a cutoff of approximately 250. These are my working anchors. These are my working anchors for a year where the paper feels easier and top scores are shifting upwards. Okay. If you take a look at the top five scores, okay, it is ending at somewhere around 273, right? So and then I have the feedback of about 120 students. It's not a random sample, and hence this will be a biased estimate. Okay. Even though I have a biased estimate, I'm trying to normalize and find out an expectation. So I got 120 people who filled up a CUET form of their scores, where I saw above 250 were six people. Okay. Between 240 to 249, I have 12 people. Okay. That's a big number, right? So from my sample, about 10% of the people are between the 240 to 249 range. Okay. But I am again saying that this is a biased sample that I have. So that is something which I have seen. Hence, I am seeing that above 250, there will be a plethora of students. Okay. Right. So now, once you understand these two anchors, these two numbers, the rest of the college discussion becomes much easier. Okay, because then you stop asking what is the exact number for every college, and you start asking the better question, relative to DSC and IJIDR, where does each college sit? And that's the right way to think. I would assume that a very close competition would be JNU in the unreserved category. After I count all the deprivation points, a score of 245. This is the final score. And the deprivation points for JNU plays a huge role. Okay. So JNU firstly normalizes the score and then adds the deprivation points. I'll get into that in more details in a while. Okay. I'm just seeing the kind of questions that we might be getting. So, yes, I think I have asked and answered the first two questions that are coming in YouTube Live. These two are the anchors. Okay. Now, let me give you the broad hierarchy for this year's counseling conversation. This is very, very important. Now, this next part becomes important because I will be basically putting down each of these colleges into buckets. Okay. So, at the very top, so I'll call it Pyramid 1, Pyramid 2, and Pyramid 3. Okay. No offense to any college, but this is how the pyramids and the cutoffs will look like. Okay. So in Pyramid 1, I would have IGIDR. I would have a Delhi School of Economics. Acha, one more question that I get a lot is, sir, Delhi University में Masters in Economics के लिए what will be the cutoff for SRCC, Hansraj, Hindu, so on and so forth? Bhai, Delhi University Masters in Economics happens in only one place. That is Delhi School of Economics. Okay. The other colleges are basically for your tutorials and affiliations, but the classes and the admission for DU Masters in Economics is at only one place, and that is Delhi School of Economics. Okay. DSC and JNU. This I will put in the first or the top of the discussion. Okay. After that, I would have a very strong middle cluster, which would comprise of colleges like Hyderabad Central University. You will have a Center for Development Studies. You would have a Tata Institute of Social Sciences, an amazing upcoming course in the Hyderabad campus on public policy and governance. I have also put in a video on YouTube for the same. So please take a look at that. You would have your Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics, and you would have your private university, Shiv Nadar University or SNU. These would form the strong middle cluster, okay, from your applications for um, CUET, okay. You would, it is debatable if you want to put Banaras Hindu University also here or in the third, right? Either way, it's fine. The third is the broader, realistic or backup expansion cluster. So this I call the middle cluster. This I call the expansion cluster or the expanded cluster. Okay. The expansion cluster would include colleges like South Asian University. You would have Terry School of Advanced Studies. You would have Delhi Technological University. You would have Pondicherry University. Okay. You would have Azim Premji University. You would have Ambedkar University of Delhi. You would have B.R. Ambedkar School of Economics in Bangalore. You would have Symbiosis School of Economics in Pune. And two more upcoming and good university would again be private. They would be Flame in Pune again and Ahmedabad University. They are really upcoming and trying to make a mark. Their courses are great. The course is new, but the courses are great and the faculties are also very nice. Okay. But they are private colleges with the fees being high, although there will be scholarships available. Okay. So this is how I would segregate out the top, middle, and the expansion tiers. Okay. Now, please listen carefully. This does not mean lower in the list means bad. Okay. It means that the conversation changes. For top colleges, the conversation is usually about very high competition. For the middle colleges, the conversation becomes your fit, the category, later rounds, and realisticness. Okay. For backup colleges, the conversation becomes about outcome quality, the fees, location, smart planning. Okay. This is how you should think. And depending on your score, make a decision not on emotions, but on practicality. That is what we are going to talk about in this session today. Okay. So I will talk about the cutoffs for all these colleges. So just wait for some time. Okay. Um, for I will talk about cutoffs. Just give me some moment. This is about uh, yeah, this is about the buckets. I will get into the numbers very soon. Okay. So let me take it college by college. I'll talk about college number one, or I'll call it A. This is IGIDR. Okay. My current working position is that IGIDR is one of the toughest conversations this year. If the paper has been easier, then I am comfortable treating 250 as a general category benchmark for discussion purposes. So if a student asks me, sir, can I get into IJIDR? My response is, if you are truly near this band, 250, 249 is close, 249, 250, 251, then yes, IJIDR remains live, but do not treat it as a casually attainable institute this year. Okay. So that's number one. That's IGIDR. I'll talk about the other category cutoffs as well. Just give me some time. Let me just set the stage up for different categories and talking about the different institutes. Then I will try to make a table with all the cutoffs and everything in one place. Okay. Now let's talk about Delhi School of Economics. For general non-DU students, DSC is likely to be brutally competitive this year. I would frame DSC like this. 245 plus is a strong conversion zone for unreserved category, and 240 to 244 is a tension zone. Okay, I'll call this a tension zone for unreserved non-DU. This is, I'm talking about non-DU category. Okay. Below that, more dependent on the category, list movement, and student pool dynamics. Okay. So if a student is emotionally attached to DSC, say, just think about it in your head. Like, DSC dream is a dream target, but not to build your entire future around this one college. Okay. So if you have a score which is below 240, let's be hopeful, but make preparations. Don't make your entire future around this one college. Okay. Then I'll come to JNU. Now, JNU is very tricky, and I'll want to give some time in order to understand this part. Okay. There are multiple aspects when it comes to JNU. Okay. And all the students are confused here. Okay. So JNU has one thing called a raw score, which is calculated by percentage. Okay. So how do they calculate it? They basically calculate it by whatever your score, just divide by 3. So if your score is say 250, 240, for example, divide by 3. So that's 80%. So that is your raw score. Then you will get deprivation points. Okay. So they basically convert your score into a percentage and then they'll add deprivation points. Now, the maximum deprivation points that are available to a particular student is 12, which is a lot. Okay. So 12 is basically 36 marks when you take a look at the total score, right? So if I say that a 245 for a JNU with the deprivation. So even a score of about 220, and if I add the deprivation points, it gives you a huge jump and literally makes you reach the 245 mark if you have the relevance of the deprivation point. So JNU is highly competitive, but JNU cannot be discussed properly without understanding this area of deprivation points. Okay. JNU does not simply look at the raw scores. It considers the CUET based performance together with eligible deprivation points on its merit system. नाउ डेप्रिवेशन पॉइंट्स आपको कैसे मिलते हैं? आई थिंक आप लोग को ये पता होना चाहिए, बट आई एम येट सेइंग इट. 7 points you get as deprivation if the candidate is in SC, ST, OBC, PWD, and they have laid down two quartiles, quartile 1 and quartile 2, basically economically backward areas of India are categorized into this Q1 and Q2. They get deprivation points. Okay. So this 7 points, I'm talking about this 7 points is achieved by female or transgender coming from SC, ST, OBC, PWD, Q1 and Q2. And females and transgender coming from unreserved category will get 5 deprivation points. Okay. Quartile district background for PG without the female thing is 3 plus 3 for quartile 1 and 2 plus 2 for quartile 2. Kashmiri migrants also get 5 deprivation points. So please check your categories and reservations. That will help you in understanding. Yes, Ibrahim, they have listed this thing down very categorically in the prospectus about this quartile 1 and quartile 2. So if you are a female candidate or you come from a quartile district background or both, your practical JNU position may be stronger than a raw score comparison of CUET. Okay, right? So that's about JNU. Just trying to explain a little bit about the deprivation points. Next would come HCU, Hyderabad Central University is one of the most important colleges to discuss for strong students who may miss the top three. Okay, so if you are below the DSC IJIDR zone, but still very strong, HCU is one of the most serious names. Then I would come to CDS. If your goal is academic seriousness, research orientation, and intellectual training, CDS should not be treated as a casual backup. Okay. I would get into BHU. BHU is a serious option, but students should remember that BHU conversations can move meaningfully across rounds. Do not judge BHU only from one early cutoff number. It will be very high, first of all. Then we get into Gokhale. Gokhale becomes a very important name in the low 200s. I will make a table very soon giving you the cutoffs. In the low 200s to middle score conversations can happen 200 to 210. If you have in the unreserved category, Gokhale becomes an important option, and especially when you want a respectable economics option with practical career discussions, Gokhale becomes relevant. Okay. Yeah, I'm meaning the last rounds. That is what I will expect. Yeah. Tata Institute of Social Sciences. That is again something that has really come up in the recent years. I have heard very good things about this place. This should not be treated as a serious option in this counseling conversation, not as a side option. It is a very serious option. Sorry, it is a very serious option if you want to get into um, policy making. Okay, it is especially for students looking for a strong social science policy applied pathway, not a general MA in economics. This has a very different MA in economics than the other colleges, so treat that. Then comes your Shivnadar, Sau, and Terry. Okay, this will again be in early 200s. These are very important names for students who want serious options beyond the most over discussed public university cluster. Okay, these are private colleges, and for the unreserved category, what I will assume is that SNU will be around 200 to 205. Sau will be around 190 to 195, and Terry will also be similar to this cutoff. So if you are in the high 190s or low 200 zone, these colleges become extremely important to discuss. Okay. Then I come to the last cluster, which may be relevant for our discussion here. I will discuss all the cutoffs, so please just be with me for some time. I'll make a table. I'll show you the table. Okay. I'll show you the table, so just be with me. The next category becomes very important. It's Pondicherry University, DTU, Azim Premji, Ambedkar, Delhi, Base, Bangalore, Symbiosis, Ahmedabad University, and Flame. Okay. These are not colleges to dismiss. These are colleges to evaluate very smartly. Ashoka is not under CUET. Ashoka has a separate entrance examination. The ones who are asking about Ashoka. Okay. So, uh, you have to evaluate these colleges very smartly in terms of the fit, fees, location, career direction, and what outcome they can realistically give you. ठीक है. पौंडीचेरी का कट ऑफ लो होगा, इतना हाई नहीं होगा. आई वुड एक्सपेक्ट 170 to 180. ओके. अजीम प्रेमजी का 180 to 185, डीटीयू का 180 to 190, अंबेडकर दिल्ली 170 to 175, base would be similar. Symbiosis would be around 170, 165 to 170. Ahmedabad and Flame would be around 160 to 165 to 170. These would be, I'm talking about the unreserved category cutoffs. This is what I will expect. Okay. So now let me simplify this into score bands. Most of you are not really asking about colleges, you are asking about your score कि आपके स्कोर में क्या चीज रियलिस्टिकली हो सकता है. तो सबसे पहले I'll talk about the category which is the most common, that is the unreserved category or the general category. अगर आपका स्कोर बैंड is 250 plus, ठीक है, you should be thinking about IGID or DSC, and if you want JNU. These are options which are realistic for you. 240 to 249 के स्कोर के बीच में, डिपेंडिंग ऑन अर्ली 240s है या लेट 240s है, इफ यू आर इन द 240 to 249 zone, um DSC is live, JNU should be live, IGIDR may be a stretch. Okay, may still be live depending on where you exactly stand. Late 240s में you may be live, early 240s में मुश्किल हो सकता है. Okay. um Medadipta, I'll come to your question. 230 to 239. Please hold on to your questions. I will have a Q&A part and I will take your questions there. 230 to 239. Now, this is again a very strong zone, but now the conversation becomes for JNU, whether you have the deprivation points. For DSC, whether you have the Delhi University quota or not. But this year, I don't see a very low Delhi University cutoff as well, because DUK students are the ones who are actually scoring very high in the CUET examination. So DU quota will give you some relief, but बहुत ज़्यादा आपको नहीं मिलेगा शायद, क्योंकि 240 to 250 के बीच में I'm seeing multiple scores. Crazy amount of people have got that score. 230 to 239 JNU, DSC, live for DU quota, Hyderabad Central University, CDS, Gokhale, TIS, and if you want, Banaras Hindu University can also be put here. ये सब तो मिल ही जाएंगे, HCU, CDS, Gokhale, TIS and BHU. Okay. 220 to 229. If you are in this is a good serious zone as well, but not the zone to think only about the top brand fantasy. This is the zone where smart students win by planning properly and not taking a decision emotionally. Okay. So you should think carefully about these colleges. Again, the different courses of HCU, Gokhale, TIS, BHU, the good courses like the general eco course, the financial eco course. These are courses where the cutoffs will go higher for institutes like HCU and Gokhale. Okay. And the agricultural economics and the environmental economics, their cutoffs will be lower. So 220 to 229, you can yet think about the top courses of HCU and Gokhale. If you have a 200 to 219 kind of a range, then think about the international economics, think about the environmental economics, think about the agricultural economics, think about the actuarial economics courses of these colleges, Gokhale and HCU. Placement at TIS is almost 100% according to reports. So if you want to get into a think tank and a research orientation with a decent policy management oriented course, then TIS will be a very good option. It doesn't have the regular MA in economics uh, course curriculum, which has a lot of econometrics, a lot of macro, micro, but this will have a lot of development economics and that kind of a course it will be. So 200 to 219, you should think about Gokhale, HCU. Um, TIS can become relevant here as well because it's new. You never know and it's not very well known. It's a hidden gem currently. So TIS is a great option. BHU will be relevant. CDS, yes. So these cutoffs will vary a lot. Okay, it'll have a large band. So just be uh, this will be a stretch zone for many of them and a realistically achievement zone as well. Okay, for a few of them. So CDS, this SNU will come here. Shivnadar University, again, an amazing place. The course is very good. The faculty is very good and the placements are also decent. It is an expensive course, but they give you scholarships as well. Sau, Terry, all of this becomes relevant here. Okay. 185 to 199 score. Now, this is a score where you need to stop prestige obsession and become very strategic. The question is not, can I get the most famous name? The question is, what is the best convertible outcome from this score? So from here, I will talk about Pondicherry. Terry is relevant. DTU, Delhi Technological University, is relevant, although the placement numbers are not very encouraging. Azim Premji University, again, the placements are okay. The research is better than the placements. Ambedkar, Delhi, and Base are again good names when you want to get into research and policy orientation courses. And Symbiosis is an old name, but when it comes to these government colleges, I would rate Symbiosis a little lower. I would prefer it, but then again, it's an old college having a decent record when it comes to placement, but in terms of the course curriculum and the faculties, I may choose the government colleges over it. Okay, so these are a few things. Now, if you are in a zone which is below 185, if you are in a zone which is below 185, then obviously it's the right response is not emotional collapse. The right response is intelligent expansion, broaden your college list, look at fee value options, evaluate parallel routes, stay organized and alert. And it's not the end of the road. There are multiple examinations that are extremely important that are left. ISI being the mother of all, right? So there are examinations to look forward to, like Indian Statistical Institute, you have Ashoka, you have Madras School of Economics that would almost hit the top of CUET. It is the top definitely in the middle cluster. Okay. Madras School of Economics is there. Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, extremely well known for its MBA courses, and now the economics course is also doing very well. You have IIT Delhi extra seats. So IIT Delhi is also relevant. And apart from this, Gokhale is also conducting a separate examination. So these will again be relevant for each and every one of you. So as I said, Ohuna 200 to 219, FinEco, General Eco for Gokhale may be possible, but it may be a stretch. It depends on your luck and how the rounds move. Also, it is extremely subjective depending on the preferences of the students, how they take it. Okay. Now let us discuss category, because that changes the counseling conversations significantly. For OBC NCL, I would generally tell the students that many colleges would sit roughly 10 to 18 marks below the UR. Okay. But this is again not a very universal formula. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribe movement can be very large, and later rounds become even more important. So students should not self-reject too early. For DU related DSC conversations, students should remember that the competition pool changes, but no one should assume automatic conversions. Okay. And for JNU female candidates with the deprivation points, um, please think about that as well. The deprivation points will get you to a good place. Okay. Um, so JNU can add 5 to 7 points for females and transgender candidates, depending on the background. Quartile district background can add separate deprivation points. Kashmiri migrants get 5 extra deprivation points. The overall deprivation benefit in JNU cannot exceed 12. Okay. right? So if you are thinking my raw score looks low for JNU, so I'm out, not necessarily at JNU. Deprivation points can materially change the final merit position. It'll change it a lot. So please get into your applications properly. I will tell you, Tatini, just give me some time. You should sit for ISI and the other examinations very seriously. Okay. Now I want to discuss something very important. A lot of students ask which college is better. Okay. But usually they ask that question in a very shallow way. The right way to compare colleges is basically on four parameters. Number one, placement. Number two is the course structure. Number three is the faculty. And something which is important is the fees. Ab fees maybe there will be multiple private colleges offering you scholarships. Okay, so don't rule them out. So when a student asks me whether one college is better than the other, I do not answer only by a brand name. I ask you a question. What kind of career are you targeting? Do you want research or placement? Do you want policy or corporate roles? Are you comfortable with a theoretical course, or do you want an applied exposure? What is the fee burden and does it make sense for you? So these are a few questions that you have to ask yourself, and then only can you compare whether a college is good or bad for you. No college is good, no college is bad. It is a fit for you. Okay, so the right college is not the one with the loudest name alone. It is the one that gives you the best mix of placement, course, faculty, and fee value for your actual goal. Okay, so now should I make a list of the marks which are possible? So let me try to, I have made a list. Let me try to copy paste my research into Word document, some sort of document. नहीं, अच्छे से copy paste नहीं हुआ. Here. All right. ये important है. Okay. So these are a few expectations that I have. If you find this list useful, please type U in the chat box. Yes, Roydon, that will happen. So DSC, unreserved category, 245 is what I will expect as the lower band. 228 to 235 OBC, NCL, SC, ST would look like this. Okay, this will be a range. IJIDR का ये होगा. JNU will be this. Female plus deprivation points can improve practical chances. HCU will be in this range. BHU in this range. CDS, Gokhale. BHU, I am hopeful that the range will go lower. It will be approximately 200. I'm reducing it by 20. I think this is a little high. Um, this will be a more realistic number when it comes to BHU. CDS will be around this much. Gokhale will be this 200 to 215, approximately that. Tata Institute of Social Sciences, this is a serious CUET option in the middle cluster, especially for the students exploring strong public policy, social science aligned pathways. So this is again a very strong option क्योंकि इतना लोग इसको जानते नहीं है बट अभी ये पॉपुलर बन रहा है तो this is a decent option. I have shown you the scores. OBC IJDR, this is my expectation, but it can go down as well. Depends on, it is extremely subjective. मैं ये past pattern से देख कर बोल रहा हूँ कि कितना difference रहा है OBC general category SC ST cutoffs में. Okay, this is TISS. This is Shiv Nadar University, South Asian University, Terry School of Advanced Studies, Azim Premji University, Delhi Technological University, Ambedkar University of Delhi, Symbiosis School of Economics, Ahmedabad University, Flame University. So these are a few different cutoffs that I have thought about. You should get with these calculated cutoffs. These are my calculations. I'm telling you the final list. Like क्या स्कोर में आपको मिल जाना चाहिए. Roydon, see, as I said, in my sample, there are approximately 18 people out of 120 respondents. That's approximately 15%. 15% of the respondents are all got 240 and above. Okay. 241 and above, in fact. 241 and above, right? So that's 15% of my sample. If I assume 15% of the entire sample, that is crazy, right? That's not gonna happen. This is a very biased uh, this thing sample. But see, I would assume DSC and IJIDR would take in approximately 100 people in the unreserved category out of 14, 15,000 people, right? That's not even 1% of the entire exam takers. But yet, I would assume 241 is touch and go. It's in the stretch zone, but please look at other options. Don't just keep DSC as the one option which you depend your future on. You should consider JNU as well. You should consider TISS and concentrate on the future exams like ISI, Ashoka, MSc. I would recommend you to go to either a JNU or a TISS and MSc if you get into MSc at a later time, and of course ISI. ISI has to be the most important examination going forward, right? Um, 245 non-DU general is touch and go. Um, as I said, that is what I expect 245 to be the cutoff. You might get it in the last list, but fingers crossed. Apply to JNU and IGIDR as well. The thing can go below. There have been a few years when IGIDR cutoff has been lower than the DSC cutoff, and often the DSC cutoff is lower than the IGIDR cutoff. Okay. So 245 non-DU general category should be touch and go, but don't keep your hopes very high and very low either. Just concentrate on the next examinations. I will be letting each of you know when the forms come out. Please apply to these forms. Okay. Um, so I think these were spot admission is again, if the seats are not filled up till the last round, they give you calls. They will call you and say that, do you want admission? Right? So spot admissions will only happen if you apply to that college. So when the applications open up for these colleges, then please apply. DSC or IGIDR is again very, very subjective. IGIDR is a smaller cohort. Um, student faculty ratio is very good. But the opportunities that the top 5% get at a DSC, top 5 to 10% at a DSC will be much better off than IGIDR. But an IGIDR average student will be better off than a DSC average student. Okay. I may be, technologically incorrect here, politically incorrect here, but the top 5-10% of DSC get amazing opportunities, and the average person at IGIDR gets a better opportunity than Delhi School of Economics purely because of the numbers. DSC has two sections of 150 students each. That's 300 students. IGIDR has a larger batch. It has 50 students, but can you even compare 50 to 300? So the faculty ratio is also much better at IGIDR, but if you are very serious, you will go and talk to the faculties and you know how to get your way, then DSC might be a better fit for you. Because if you aspire to be in the top at DSC, the opportunities that you get are amazing, right? DSC and IIT Delhi, I will say choose DSC. Delhi School of Economics is a more older name and it has vintage, and the placements are amazing for the top few people. The average placement is also very decent. JNU Triple S is doing decent. JNU SIS is having a little bit of an issue in the recent times when it comes to placements, but both are very good courses. Um, JNU or MSc, I will be a little bent on MSc General Eco course over a JNU when it comes to placements. When it comes to research, I will choose JNU. Okay. So again, the right question is uh, what? Sumit 243 general category non-DU. I have already given you all the options, right? JNU might be possible. DSC in later rounds might be possible. IGIDR also, I'll not expect IGIDR to be possible, but please fill up the form at least. Uh, right. Ahmedabad University is new. It's trying to give decent placements. It has an average package of about 7, and the placements are 70 to 80%. Okay. CDS Kerala, why do you want to go for CDS Kerala for a PhD, Sumit? You can go to JNU for a PhD. With 243, JNU stands a great chance. Obviously, Ibrahim, I think both are different departments, so maybe different forms will come out. We'll just have to check. Aditya is saying 229 general category, CDS or HCU. I will say TIS. Please apply to TIS. Please apply to JNU. Check your deprivation points as well. CDS or HCU, I'll go for HCU when it comes to placements. I'll go to CDS when it comes to PhD. I'm talking about the last list, that with this score, you should get into these colleges. Okay. Right. Um, So I think I've answered a lot of the questions like, sir, I only want DSC. Wanting DSC is fine. Building your entire strategy around DSC is not fine. Keep DSC as a dream target, but build as a realistic basket as well. So depending on your score, if you have a 250 up, then DSC is mostly possible. 99% DSC will happen. So yes, that's there. JNU is a more theoretical course than DSC. JNU SIS is very close to a more mathematical course. JNU Triple S is a more theoretical course. Student is asking, sir, my marks are lower than expected. Then your job now is not to be emotionally comparing your score with your expectation. Your job is to convert this score into the best available academic outcome that is possible and to look at the future examinations. Okay. Later rounds can save you, but later rounds reward organized students, not passive, hopeful student. लेटर राउंड में होगा वही होप में बस बैठे हैं, वो मत करिए. राइट, जस्ट स्टे ऑर्गेनाइज्ड, लुक एट द फ्यूचर एज वेल. If which colleges are worth apart from DSC, I have already answered that. College ranking for PhD, DSC would be on the top, IJIDR, JNU would be there. I would put TIS, SNU there, and look at the other colleges whose examinations are left. Okay. Tanmay, yes, 245 OBC, non-DU, possible. Definitely possible. Very good chance. Urmi, I think I've given you all the options. Just go back to what I have already shared. Darshit, DSC and IJIDR both will be very mathematical courses. DSC a little more mathematical, if I can call it, but DSC more effort has to be put by the student. So DSC, I will go towards DSC because I would say that the opportunities which might be available at a DSC may not even come my way when I go to IGIDR. So I will be basically striving to be in the top and go to DSC, get those opportunities, grab it with both my hands. Right? I am not a risk averse individual. I will back myself, go to DSC, get the best out of DSC. Okay. IFT और MSc, which is better? IFT का एग्जामिनेशन होने तो दीजिए. So and MSc का also. I will go towards MSc when it comes to both research and placements. ये इस कोर्स के साथ में आपको मिल जाना चाहिए. That is what I said, right? So that obviously means कि एकदम लास्ट राउंड होते होते ये स्कोर में आपको मिल जाना चाहिए. GAIP versus MSc, I'll go for MSc. 218 HCO or CDS definitely possible. I've already said Tanmay, 240 EWS definitely possible, right? As you can see on the screen itself, DSC, these are the cutoffs which I expect, right? So I think I've answered most of the questions. Anything else that needs to be answered, please ask. Safe score क्या है? A safe score is not a score that sounds good. A safe score is a score that clearly puts down the targets which are the most likely. Okay. Now, चलो ठीक है. अगर आपको अब कुछ भी देखना है, जस्ट रिवाइंड एंड सी. ओके, मैंने सारे कट ऑफ बहुत अच्छे से बोल दिए हैं. अभी नेक्स्ट आपको क्या करना है, दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आपको कुछ भी स्कोर को लेकर कुछ भी डाउट है, प्लीज, आई एम नॉट गोना आंसर दैट एनी मोर. प्लीज रिवाइंड एंड सी. ओके. अब आपको क्या करना है आफ्टर द स्कोर? मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स लूज द अपॉर्चुनिटी नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ लो मार्क्स बट बिकॉज ऑफ पुअर प्लानिंग. राइट? तो अभी आपको क्या करना है, आपको एक कॉलेज का शीट बनाना है. मेक अ कॉलेज शीट. लिस्ट एवरी टारगेट कॉलेज इन दैट शीट. ओके. एप्लीकेशन का लिंक जो मैं दूंगा, डेडलाइन, ये एक्सेल आप खुद को बनाना है, कैटेगरी रूल्स डेप्रिवेशन पॉइंट्स अगर आपको मिल रहा है व्हेन इट कम्स टू डीएससी एक्स्ट्रा टेस्ट, ठीक है। कीप 3 बकेट्स, एक को ड्रीम कॉलेज अकॉर्डिंग टू द कट ऑफ, जैसे आपका 235 है तो डीएससी 235 नॉन ड्यू जनरल कैटेगरी, तो ड्रीम कॉलेज में आ जाएंगे डीएससी जेएनयू एंड आईजीआईटीआर। वो ड्रीम है, होने का चांस कम है बट ठीक है, दैट इज द ड्रीम कॉलेज। एक होगा रियलिस्टिक, तो 3 बकेट्स बनाइए, एक ड्रीम, एक रियलिस्टिक और एक सेफ ऑप्शन। तो 235 के साथ में सेफ ऑप्शन विल बी टाटा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ सोशल साइंसेस हैदराबाद, गोखले, सीडीएस, ये सब सेफ ऑप्शंस में आ गए। रियलिस्टिक विल बी जेएनयू अगर आपके पास में डेप्रिवेशन पॉइंट्स है तो, ओके। नंबर 5, डू नॉट वेट फॉर वन रिजल्ट बिफोर फिलिंग अदर फॉर्म्स, ठीक है। फॉर्म्स भरिए डिपेंडिंग ऑन दीज कैटेगरीज, प्लीज फिल फॉर्म्स, डू नॉट वेट फॉर द रिजल्ट। अच्छा, वो कॉलेज में अगर नहीं होता है तो मैं इसका फॉर्म भरूंगा, तब इसका फॉर्म भी अगर निकल गया और उसमें भी नहीं हुआ तो, राइट। सो रियलिस्टिक एंड सेफ कॉलेजेस को अच्छे से टारगेट करते हुए करिए। कौन सा कोर्स डिफिकल्ट है, कौन सा कोर्स इजी है, अब इसके बारे में मैं कुछ नहीं बोल सकता बिकॉज ये बहुत ही सब्जेक्टिव है। लाइक द आईएसआई कोर्स केम एक्सट्रीमली नेचुरली टू मी, डीएससी may come more naturally to you, so it can be anything, right? So ये तो मैं नहीं बोल सकता कि क्या इजी है क्या डिफिकल्ट है, राइट। ओके, एंड जितने भी डॉक्यूमेंट्स है कीप द डॉक्यूमेंट्स रेडी। तो ये 6 चीज लिख लीजिए आप अभी। मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट्स कंफ्यूज है, सर क्या कट ऑफ है, क्या है, क्या है, क्या है, क्या है। खाली कट ऑफ पर ही फोकस क्यों कर रहे हैं? कॉलेज का शीट बनाइए, अपने टारगेट कॉलेजेस को देखिए। मैंने कट ऑफ आपको दे दिया है, डोंट आस्क द सेम क्वेश्चंस रिपीटेडली, ओके। सो अब ये बनाइए, ड्रीम कॉलेजेस क्या है, रियलिस्टिक क्या है, सेफ स्कोर क्या है, मैंने कैटेगरी वाइज आपको दे दिया है कि व्हाट इज माय एक्सपेक्टेशन, राइट। अब स्कोर को लेकर सवाल नहीं हो सकते, राइट। ओके, सो अ लॉट ऑफ students do not lose because of marks, they lose because they miss deadlines, they misunderstand the process and documents को properly upload नहीं करते हैं in the application, that is where the students lose more। तो मार्क्स को लेकर और ज्यादा दिमाग मत करिए, खर्च करिए। अपने मार्क्स को एज अ प्रैक्टिकल देखकर ये तैयार करिए, जस्ट मेक दीज थिंग्स रेडी एंड गेट इनटू द प्रोसेस। HCU will be better when it comes to placements than base. So before I close, I want to speak to those who are scared. If your score is lower than what you expected, please listen carefully. One score does not decide your entire future. What matters now is how intelligently you interpret the score, how wisely you shortlist the colleges, how honestly you understand your position, and how disciplined you are after the result. ठीक है? So do not freeze, do not disappear, do not live inside rumors that are going around in Quora, Reddit, okay? And do not compare yourself all day with random people online. ठीक है? Instead, build a proper college basket, stay active for every remaining admission process, and shift your energy towards the next opportunities. If CUET did not go as well as you hoped, then this is exactly the time to focus more, not less. ठीक है? A lot of important chances are yet alive. आईएसआई बीइंग द मदर ऑफ ऑल चांसेस, अभी एक हफ्ता के बाद में, एग्जैक्टली 1 वीक के बाद में आप आईएसआई का एग्जामिनेशन को लिख रहे होगे। ओके, तो डोंट मिस दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी। एमएससी है, आईएफटी है, अशोका है, आईआईटी दिल्ली के एक्स्ट्रा सीट्स हैं, गोखले है, एंड देर आर सो मेनी मोर, राइट? सो द राइट रिस्पॉन्स इज नॉट sulking. Regroup quickly, protect your confidence, and attack the next set of examinations and applications with even more seriousness. कुछ कमी रही होगी, वो कमी को पूरा करते हुए नेक्स्ट एग्जामिनेशन में वो गलतियां रिपीट नहीं करना है, right? So the students who have already made it to DSC, IGIDR, they are happy, राइट? टेक दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी कि अभी थोड़ा कंपटीशन शायद कम होगा एंड योर नेक्स्ट एग्जामिनेशंस कैन इवन डू बेटर, क्योंकि अगर जो डीएससी में पहुंच चुका है ऑलरेडी, वो प्रोबेबली एमएससी का एग्जामिनेशन ही नहीं देगा। सो द कंपटीशन विल बी लोअर एंड योर चांसेस विल बी हायर, राइट? तो बहुत अच्छे से दीजिए ये सब एग्जामिनेशन। ओके, एंड प्लीज रिमेंबर, अ डिसअपॉइंटिंग स्कोर इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ द रोड, इट इज अ सिग्नल टू वाइडन द strategy. Stay disciplined and go harder towards the remaining high value opportunities that you have. And just keep asking yourself the question, what strong opportunities are still left and how fast can I move towards them? For me, each and every one of you is a champion, right? So, champions, please move towards the next goal. Don't get stuck in the past of what has happened, right? विद 243 स्कोर आप क्यों सोच रहे हैं अजीम प्रेम जी? सुमित, प्लीज कंफ्यूज मत होइए। अगेन आई सेड यू हैव अ डिसेंट स्कोर, क्यों कंफ्यूज हो रहे हैं? एपीयू और के बारे में क्यों सोच रहे हैं विद स्कोर ऑफ 243, राइट? So the best students are not always with the loudest confidence, they are often the students who make the smartest decisions. ठीक है? तो डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड, ये अच्छे से बनाइए टारगेट कॉलेजेस, एप्लीकेशन लिंक, डेडलाइन, ड्रीम, रियलिस्टिक, सेफ। ओके, so आज का session was basically aimed at this only. If you want our help in understanding your score into a serious admission strategy, realistic colleges का cutoff, category adjusted guidance and proper planning के लिए आज मैंने ये session किया है, and EduSure is wanting to help each and every one of you to do exactly that. Okay, do not rely on rumors, do not rely on one college fantasy, and do not make your next move emotionally. इमोशनली नहीं, प्रैक्टिकली करेंगे, स्ट्रेटेजिकली करेंगे। ओके, so that's about it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the session. And I hope that the session has helped. If it has helped, please type H in the chat, and that will only encourage us to do so much more research, get you these sessions in the future as well. And jitne bhi forms निकलेंगे, I will make an attempt to give each and every form out when it comes, and so that each of you are up to date. एंड जितने भी सीयूईटी के कॉलेजेस है, आई विल ऑल्सो ट्राई टू गिव यू कंपैरिजंस बिटवीन कॉलेजेस की कौन सा कॉलेज माइट बी अ बेटर फिट फॉर यू। अगेन एज आई सेड, 5 आपको क्वेश्चंस अपने से पूछने चाहिए बिफोर यू गेट इनटू एनी चॉइस, कि आपको प्लेसमेंट करना है, पीएचडी करना है, फैकल्टी है, कोर्स मटेरियल है, ओके, फीस है, ये सारे फैक्टर्स को कंसिडर करते हुए अ कॉलेज इज अ गुड फिट और अ बैड फिट फॉर यू। Okay, no college is good or bad, it's the fit that comes. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of the session, and I'll see you in the next session very soon. Till then, bye bye, and all the best for the remaining examinations, especially ISI, which is exactly 1 week away. I wish each of you all the best.